Does the spirit side extend above 5D?
Oh,
Dimension?
absolutely. Absolutely.
What kind of consciousness resides, in the sixth, seventh, so 4 dimensions?
Not easy to describe in your language.
Yeah, I figure. Because I know there is a lot of, endless consciousnesses that expand above these dimensions. But probably I wouldn't understand.
I could use a very, very simplistic analogy. Imagine right now that you are looking at a TV screen. Yes?
Yes.
Now imagine that you have 100 TV screens in front of you and that you're able to understand every single program on every single screen simultaneously. Can you do that in your imagination? Now imagine that every single TV screen has another TV screen and another TV screen and another TV screen, and it goes on to infinity. And you can understand all of those and perceive all of those simultaneously. And each of them represents a completely different reality, a different timeline, a different universe. And you understand all of that simultaneously.
That would go to the source perspective, like watching everything.
Yes, but even then, the source can have the idea of other sources that are also part of the source, which can then have the idea of other the sources that can go to the idea of the source, and on and on and on. It never ends.
Yes, it's just amazing. It's just unimaginable. One more question I have. Does Earth have guardians with rules and regulations?
Are you saying, does it have guardians?
Yeah, guardians with rules and regulations.
There are very few. One of the ideas you may be calling a rule was that you are left to your own devices and that there is no interference allowed in certain aspects of your evolution. Things must be left to you to decide. There are a few exceptions to that, but they're very rare.
Okay, thank you so much for your interactions today, and have a great day ahead. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hi there. This question is also regarding an experience I had during my cryptic meditations by the river. I began to be able to perceive into the dimensions of my parallel reality counterparts. I could see what was going on, and as this was happening, I got the name Holly Cotton whispered into my ear, and then I felt Holly Cotton's consciousness move into my energy fields and then into my body. I understand that Willa Hillerkrissing has mentioned Holly Cotton before, so I wanted to ask why this would happen, why I've had a visitation by Holly's consciousness, and what I can do with this, what potentials there are, and how I can act on this if I choose to. Thank you.
Holly Cotton, being Willa's mentor, infuses her consciousness within all who seek to be a cryptic. It's not that there aren't other mentors as well, but this is the one you are familiar with because of the introduction of Willa Hillerkrissing's energy through this channel. So you are going to gravitate more likely to the mentor for Willa, which is Holly Cotton. The idea is that you are beginning to experience the connection from the cryptic level to the nocturnal level, which is usually represented by the awareness of parallel realities. So you are taking advantage of the vibration of the consciousness, the frequency of the consciousness of Willa's mentor to help accelerate you in your process of going from cryptic to nocturnal.
Good day. Hello. Thank you so much.
It is our passion and our pleasure. What would you like to discuss?
I'd love to know more about your personal art, if you're willing to share. Have in my head that you sculpt kind of with a liquid crystal, not quite, but kind of.
Yes.
So is there any like recent projects that would be exciting to share about?
Yes. We have created recently a large latticework sphere in which is contained an atmosphere that, when entered, allows individuals to experience different aspects of reality that reflects to them what they most need to understand to move forward on their path. It is like looking, in a sense, into a crystal ball, but it is like being inside the crystal ball.
That's so cool. Is that a collective idea, or how did that happen?
As you asked, I sculpted it. But it is connected telepathically to my entire civilization. So it is both a personal art project and expression and a collective one, because it represents what the collective would like to create, though it is done through individuals. This is done mostly as a tool of first contact for certain civilizations who need to see things in certain ways, who are already part of what you might call the interstellar alliance, but have to relate to interacting with us in a certain way. So we create this for them.
That's so cool. So can you expand on that in terms of how it relates to your ships? Because I think you said your ships also are created from the same type of crystalline matter. And it just makes me wonder, right? Like you mentioned that there would be no dashboard if we went in there because it's about your higher self and interacting
Yes,
with that.
it's a slightly different kind of material, though the principles are similar. But it represents the idea of a solidification or physicalization of our soul, of our higher mind. And that's why there is a telepathic connection, because in a sense, the ship is us.
That's so cool. So what does like if I were able to go in there, what would I see? Like you don't eat, so you don't need a kitchen, you don't sleep, so you don't need a bed. So what determines like the size, the shape, the design of the inside of your ship?
Many different things. Primarily, it would seem like an unbroken, seamless form, either circular, maybe triangular, maybe hexagonal, in terms of the smaller ships. You might see a power pole from floor to ceiling in the center, but again, out of the same basic crystalline material that channels certain forms of energy through the ship. You might see a wall that can suddenly become transparent to function as a window, but again, all of this is done by mind. You might see certain things like chairs, if they protrude from the floor, if they are needed, but if not needed, will recess back into the floor or the walls. So the ship is very malleable and responsive to our needs by producing the things out of the crystalline material that are needed in the moment they are needed and disappearing when they are not.
So cool. Thank you so much.